It expands your level of awareness. So let's look at this for a moment. Now, there are 7 levels of awareness, from animalistic consciousness to mastery. When we're born, we're in an animalistic state. We are in an animalistic state. What do you do in an animalistic state? You react. You react to everything that goes on. Okay? What would you do if you were at a mastery level, where you've mastered this thing of controlling what's going on around you? Well, then you wouldn't react, you would respond. You see the difference? Now, when you react, what happens? Well, animal kingdom, it's fight or flight. When you respond, what happens? Oh, it's a little different. You think and plan. Is that a good idea? You're thinking, you're planning? Is it working? Of course it works, if you're aware. But if you're not aware, now keep thinking. We're born into this animalistic state. That's where a baby is. A baby is the most useless creature that you'll ever find. Well, it's true. You know, a baby pony is born. And you'll see pretty well, it gets up on its own legs. We're blessed around our backyard. Birds build nests. And we see them. And we watch them. And we watch them getting the bird out of the nest. I had one land right on my knee this summer. It wasn't on my knee, it was on my foot. I had my foot up, and it landed right on the end of my foot. I was trying to get my phone out to get a picture of it before I scared it, but I guess I moved, and it moved over a little bit. It was a baby bird. I mean, it was just trying to get its wings. And it's fun watching them. But you know something? They do. And they start flying right away, get them out of the nest. And you see the parent going around getting food and shoving it in their mouth. But pretty soon the bird gets the food itself. You imagine if you were in that state? You'd be toast. It'd be all over in a relatively short period of time. Why? Because you're the most useless creature on the planet. Little animals aren't like that, but we are for quite a while. So we move from this animalistic state, and we start and we get out and we start following the masses. And that's when the paradigm starts to take place outside. Now, we've already got the paradigm inside. It's our genetic nature. That's why we look like our relatives. Now think. Why do you look like Aunt Harriet or Uncle Tom? When I was a young guy, I had red hair. It just kept getting lighter and lighter, and it went to blonde, and then it got lighter, and the blonde is gone. But you know something? I have a brother and sister, and they don't have red hair. My mother and father didn't have red hair. I could get you thinking all kinds of things, couldn't you? Where the hell did you get that red hair? Fortunately, my mother's father and all his brothers had red hair. Sometimes it jumps a generation, you see. I saw a thing on the internet here a while ago, I know some of you had to see it, where there were twins. One was black and one was white. Twins, yeah. You know, we start following the masses. And we're encouraged. Go on out and be like the rest of the kids. The only thing you can't be is like somebody else, and you're told to go on out and be like them. Yet we frequently send them off to schools where we even dress them the same. We don't want you to stand out. We don't want you to be different. You see? Now this happened to you. This happened to me. This happened to us. This is where the programming came from, and now you're fighting to break out of it. And it ain't easy. One of the first things I ask a person when they come to work with is, what's the most you've earned in a year? I have no hesitancy in asking. And I don't really care what the answer is, but I want to know what the answer is. First thing I asked Phil is, what's the most you've earned in a year? And he lied to me. He said $250. He was only earning $2. He told us later on. He told us from up the front here one day. I lied to him. Now, I don't really care what the answer is, but I want to know what the answer is. That tells me where their paradigm is with respect to earning money, so that would tell me where their paradigm is with respect to providing service. That tells me where they're at as far as working is concerned if they're working with us. And what I want to do, I want to shift their paradigm. I want them to earn more money. I want them to earn a lot of money. Why? Because they make them more productive. The money is the reflection of the production. The production isn't a reflection of the money. Although, oddly enough, it can be, because the outside can motivate you just the same as from inside. But at any rate, we follow other people. And you go along like this. Now, some people, they stay there for the rest of their life. You say, well, they don't stay there. No, they actually stay there for their entire life. How could a person stay just right there? They do. They do. They lack motivation. Now, something happens inside, and we aspire. You hit this aspiration. You aspire to be something greater than you are. It's your desire to be greater than you are. It's the desire to do something beyond. This aspiration, something happens inside of us. Now, some people stay there. They've got this uncomfortable feeling, and they just can't see how they can do it. They don't believe they can do it. They just can't see it happening. But if you watch anything grow, what you actually see is a reflection. I was thinking of you, Cynthia, with the foundation. And what we see is a reflection of the increased consciousness. Now stop and think of how this works. She expands her level of conscious awareness. She attracts different people into her life. She attracts different people into her foundation. More children are educated. More children are eating nutritious food. More children are drinking clean water. Why? Because she increased her level of awareness. Have you any idea what you can do? Have you ever thought of what can happen to you? You see, when I picked up this book, I was quiet, I was shy, I had such low self-esteem. You'd never found me in this room. I'd have never been in this room. And I would never ask a question. I didn't want anybody to look at me. Even after I'd studied this for a long time, and it had a tremendous desire to teach it, you would have never got me up here. Not in a million years would you get me up here. I was too shy. Now that's a reflection of your own self-esteem, is really what it is.